So okay, go to our team folder and download this one, the last one of void scripts. We are gonna start from here. I have them saved here. I'm going to drag this to my screen. You don't need other script at all. You can delete everything. You can start from scratch. Right click, create empty, reset, void, and then connect the voids to the voids. And we need the agent prefab. We were using a brick last time, so we are gonna make one more. So in the right click, create a cube, reset. I'm going to create an empty object, reset. I'm gonna call it brick. And drag the cube under the brick. The reason is that so the pair clean. And under the cube, choose D to 2. So it's a elongated brick. If you want, you can add color or whatever you want. And then go, and then you want to make this brick as a prefab. So drag the, make sure that this becomes blue, and then delete it. And then go to voids, drag this prefab to here. And let's now you should see this. So one little thing I forgot to mention last time, in continue yesterday's script. So let's open this. Voids, I'm gonna close all the others. Voids, and then void system, void agent. You don't need, so voids, void system, and void agent, okay? One thing I forgot to do last time is to give a value to the neighbor radius. Last time in the class, it was like this. So which meaning that every agent was not searching for any radius because there was no radius. So make sure you, and now on this neighbor radius to be a global variable. So we can actually set this value in the inspector. How do we do that? We now already familiar with the circle packing script that we need multiple passes. We need to pass the variable, the voice to the system, to the agent, correct? So now we are going to make this neighbor radius into a global variable. So we go to voids. Then we are going to set up a public float called neighbor. I'm gonna just follow my script, neighborhood radius. Then I'm going to give a default number value of 5. We are going to let this void system to recognize its parent, which is the voice. So I'm going to make a public voice called voice small. And then you go out. So save the system, out to the voice. And then whenever voice system is created, you want to pass the voice as this. You want to pass your to voice. In this case, you will always have access to all these global variables of voice itself. Okay, and then when we go back to our voice system, in the update, I'm gonna just follow my heart. Okay, in the update, let's say, okay, so the update, we will set neighbor radius is dot neighbor radius. Let's check relationship again. So I created a neighbor radius called 5 with default number, which I can change this as a in the inspector. And then I passed my entire class to the voice system. And then you go to voice system. And on every update, we are taking the value from voice class and return it to neighbor radius. And this neighbor radius is used here in the find, yeah, it's only used here. Okay, it's not used in the agent, is it? You don't need. Okay, that's good. So, right, neighbor radius is only used in system. It doesn't go past to the agent. So it was only one time passing. So that's good. Let's play it. And then let's see if I change the radius of neighbor. It does something different. So the checking radius becomes much smaller in this case, so they don't relate or they relate. So there are lots of parameters that you can actually change. Okay, so I'm going to, on this space, I'm going to add a repeller. So let's create a few spheres. I'm going to make few spheres. E. I want them to be in different positions. I'm going to always change this. All right, and then I'm going to assign different color. So go to material, create a material. Gold may be red. Red will become repeller. Okay. Then change this color to reddish color. So they will become my repellers. Okay, so I'm going to name to wrap repeller. Then I'm going to package this as into an empty game object with reset. And then I'm going to parent all the repellers under here. So in the future, you can have multiple repellers. Okay, I'm going to also make this, Control D to copy. I'm going to also make a tractor. Then I'm gonna change their name and change their position and size. And then I'm going to Control D, blue, change this name, blue, color to blue. I want to make sure that you don't have to worry too much about the names. It's not connected to the script. Doesn't matter for script. So I wanna give this material to all of these attractors. All right, now I'm ready. ATTS, so all the attractors. Okay, so let's start our boys script. Sorry, I'm looking for my notes. I have it here. Okay, so we are going to bring in the repellers and attractors. So we are going to ask for a public game object, all repellers first. Let's do that. Repellers. And then in voids, oh, sorry, not here. Sorry, don't do this here. I meant to do this in voids because that's where we get the global variables. If we save this now, in the voids, to ask for one geometry, one model. So bring this repellers here. And I'm going to show you how to go through a group of objects and then get the child center point or transform position. Okay, so you go back here and then we are going to geometry, they're not vectors. So we need to read their position and store their list of vectors. Okay, so what we want to do is we go to let's create a new method. So boys, set up attractor and repeller. And then we are going to go through each of the game objects. So int I is 0. I is smaller than all repellers. All repellers dot transform dot child count. So this child count is giving you the number of the child in that game object. And then we are going to store all these child positions in a list inside the void system. So it's a little tricky, so follow me. So how do we get the position? So transform child position is all repellers dot transform dot get child I. This is not a position, it's just a game object. It's a transform. And then in the void system, so because we know which system it is, we already know that. So we are going to create a list inside void system and store this information there. So go to void system. And then here we are going to create two lists or one. We just added one, the repeller for now. So we are going to here, the public list of vector 3. I want to use exactly the same name, so I'm gonna open my note. Okay. So all agents, okay, all, okay, I'm gonna just follow my notes. So repeller centers, it's new list of vector 3. So this is repeller center, that is public variable of void system. So now I can add my center positions here. So Control C, voids. Under this, you will say, okay, all my void system dot repeller centers and add my child dot transform position. I believe child position. Because this already returned a transform, so you don't have to do transform dot position. And we want to also store the radius. We want bigger center, bigger, what is that? Bigger spheres to affect stronger. So we are going to make a radius storing with list as well. So public list of lot, repeller radius, new list of lot. Okay, and coming now, void system will have radius. I'm going to add my location vector, scale, my scale information. So child, you wanna use something called lossy scale, X, 0.5, F. So that's the radius. So you are getting, by using this, you are getting this information from each child because they have different radius size in the model, and then getting this information. Okay, you got it until here? Okay, we are going to set up radius. Okay, I'm gonna just follow my heart. Set up radius, set up attractor and repellers. Inside update. Inside start. Sorry, do it before anything is created and anything is updated. Set up this every time. Which means in the every update, we actually want to refresh this. So voice system repeller centers is a new of repeller center is vector 3D, vector 3. So basically every frame I am refreshing this list. Can actually make changes to my attractor and repellers. Okay, and what do we do with this information? So we need to pass this information for the agents to calculate the repeller. So go to voice agents. Are you guys okay? Do you remember we were coding the separation, alignment, and cohesion? So we are going to add behavior here and then just change the desired velocity. So we are going, I'm going to copy this. Control C, Control V. I'm going to say repeller. Then I'm going to code something here. The behavior is I should see where the repeller is and then avoid it. It's similar to the circle pattern, yeah? And then we are going to repel by mode, right? So let's do that. It's easy. So we need to get the voice system's repeller center count. We already know where's voice system, so we don't need to get anything else in order to get this information. So int I is 0. I is smaller than void system repeller centers dot count I plus plus. So we are going through all repellers similar to the circle packing, right? Okay. All right, so we are going to calculate a vector 3 called the repel. And then its my position minus my repeller's position minus void system dot repeller center I dot, no need dot because it's already a vector 3. Okay, plot, we are gonna calculate the distance. It's actually the magnitude of this vector. And then going to normalize this. And then we are going to scale it according to some other things. Okay. Plot, we are going to calculate the force of this repelling force. It's going to be related to each radius, each repeller's radius, because we want them to be stronger if they're bigger. All right, so we are going to minus distance to void system dot repeller radius I. And then we are going to do a little bit of cap. If it's too big, continue. If it's too small, we are going to cap this. F is 0.01. So this two line is, if it's too big, more than 20, just don't do it. Just skip it. If it's small than 0.1, F is going to be 0.01. So you have a minimum. So repeller is going to be times by a certain number, and then a square it's a mess. This is a power kind of squaring, and then F and then I'm going to add the desired velocity. And then we are going to times something. I'm going to come back to this later. A force of something like 0.5. It's going to be a global scale to control their forces. We are going to link this to a global variable soon. Let's see if this is good now. So the attractor is not working, only repeller is connected. So I have some error. So voice system. Oh, it's I should set this up after. No, I should set this up after voice is generated, because I didn't have a voice. That's why there was no list. That's why I cannot store it. Okay, now it's really strong. So what we want to do is you can go back to voice agents, and then we are going to do something about this number. So let's say if we only have a really small number here, it's going to still affect, but it's not going to be too strong. But you might want to also access that information. So this is repeller. So it's actually getting repelled. If you see, it's getting repelled in real time. So we want to use attractors for opposite. So we, instead of adding a minusing, you can add, and then it becomes your attractor. So you can have multiple kind of ways of interacting with this blocking. Okay, so let's bring this to a global variable. Let's do that. Okay, so we can also get into a void system. In the void system, we can make a public float called repeller strength. And then repeller strength is by default 001, let's say, or 0. Let's say 0. Okay. And since I have this number here, I can go back to my void agent. I can change this number to void system dot repeller strength. Okay. Go to void system. Now go to voids now, and we need the global variable, public float voids, let's say repeller strength. By default is 0. And then in every update, and then go to system, and in every update, you are using the repel strength is like this. So now if I play this, I can actually change the strength of the thing. Okay, does that make sense for now? All right, there are a lot of controls that you can do. You can use these methods to bring all the parameters up to front. So you can actually change it in real time. As an example, let's go to the voice agent and let's add a strength for cohesion. Yeah, okay. Let's add all three control to see what affects what. Shall we do that? Okay. So come back to voice system, and I'm going to make multiple floats, public plot is called cohesion strength. Then give a default number of what's the default number? Okay, cohesion as 5, public float, cohesion alignment separations, cohesion align strength, alignment strength. I set it 10, just following my notes. Float, public float, separation strength is 2. Oh, 5. Okay. Now go back to my voice agent script. And here I'm going to times a void system dot what's the name? Separation strength dot void agent alignment strength. Void system cohesion strength. So we can actually add a slider for each of them to create different kinds. Okay, so we just need to Control C, go to voice, put it all the way up, and then come back to system. And then in the update, you want to assign this all again. So cohesion strength, let me copy this. Control V is voice dot cohesion strength. Separation strength is voice dot separation strength. Alignment strength is voice dot alignment strength. Okay, now you are ready to run this. Ooh, too much. You can see what cohesion does. Cohesion makes everything to group together, right? And then alignment will help everybody to align their direction and boost the separation up. They're trying to get their own location. Then they're working together. And you can kind of really learn how to like small control all of these parameters. Okay. All right, so let me just change this default number to really, really small. So let me just put this 0.1, 0.1, 1. Okay. Now I want to connect the repeller strings and some of these strings as a script, as a slider. So let's go make sure that it's full HD. Let's right click, use UI, create a slider. Scaling it. Good. Actually, I'm going to, and then you can Control D. Then the first one, second one. Let's make 4 sliders. Okay, so the first one will be my repeller strength. Let's add slider, repeller slider. This one should be cohesion slider. And slider and separation slider. Oops, step slider. And let's set the value to be 0.1. 0.1. 0. Okay, 0.1 or 0. Repeller to start from 0. And then let's not go too much up. Okay, this up to like 10, 10, 10, something like that. Okay. And then let's go back to our voice. Okay. So I'm going to connect these 4. I'm going to replace these 4 into a slider info. All right. So let's do that. Okay. Instead of getting that, let's go back to our UI stuff. Slider controller. Let me just make a habit. I'm gonna check our circle packing. Yeah, we are gonna do this. Yeah, we are gonna get the value and work with it. All right. Okay, that's fine. All right, firstly, we add the using Unity engine dot UI. And then let's make a public slider, our slider. Just let's make a proper name, slider. I'm gonna copy paste this 4 times. Okay. And this is going to be cohesion slider, alignment slider, separation slider. And you have default value, but in every update, we are going to update this to the slider value. So Control C and go to update. Before you pass this information, use slider dot value. Oops. So cohesion strength is cohesion slider dot value. Separation strength is separation slider dot value. Alignment strength is alignment slider dot value. That's it. Just matter of menu typing. Okay. Now we have, okay, let's change the camera also to the correct view. Control Shift F. Okay. And then let's also add the sliders. Oh, where are the sliders? Oh, I didn't import the sliders. No, I did. Then why it's not asking for slider? Oh, I should have done this. I don't know why. I should have done this here in voice instead of voices. Sorry. I'm sorry. So neighbor radius. You should have done this in voice. This is like really stupid mistake. So you should here, you don't need this in system, you need this in voice. Okay. I made a mistake with the structure, so I'm gonna go through this again. So I have repeller slider. So now these sliders are coming from voids. Because I moved it. It's actually doing it already, so I didn't have to do it here. Oh, I see. I have to do it, sorry. I have to do this, Control X, and go to voice. So I was just doing lately, you should have done that exactly the same in the voice instead of in the system. Okay, I made a mistake, sorry. Okay, I think that's it. Yeah, now it's asking for slider. I'm gonna put the sliders in and make sure that I don't need this as a public. So I only want they need to be public, but you can actually from inspector. I forgot how to do that. I forgot how to do that. Let me find that command. Sorry. Gonna quick find this. I need 2 minutes. Okay, it was really easy. Public. So they should be public because you need to access from other class, but you can hide. I just don't want this to show here. So you can say hide in inspector. Like, and all repellers you need to be public. So Control X. Okay, I hide it one. It doesn't hide this group. Just for now, I'm gonna just do it like this. Just for now. I'm pretty sure there is a way to hide multiple lines. So now it's hidden here. And we are going to give the repeller slider, cohesion slider, alignment slider, and separation slider. Control S. Okay, so let's go to the game scene. Let's see. So this should be the repeller force. It's not working. So I'm going to check the connection again. But let's see the slider. This value, repeller. Okay, it is slider value is changing, but it's not affecting the way we want it. So I'm going to go back and check all of my connections again. So, okay, I have this slide. And then this slider. I don't need these values here. Let me hide this for now. I don't think I need this. And then I go back to our system. Oh, I should use the slider value here. Okay, so void dot represent. I'm going to use slider value. That's correct. Cohesion slider value. Separation slider value. Alignment slider value. Now it should work. That's a repeller. Cohesion. Alignment. Separation. The separation in the next round. Okay, how are you guys so far? Hmm? Lost? You lost? Okay, but in general, what I just did was from yesterday's voice script, I added the repeller, okay? And then I just like did bunch to just connect these global values to local values. That's it. And trying to kind of show you how to bring those values out so you can change them in the inspector or slider. That was the point of this. Okay. And then we can actually build this as a standalone game. So let's do that. Let's go to build settings in Windows. So make sure that you add open scene. Make sure your scene 3 is here. And then let's go to player to change a few things. You want to change this to a unique name. I think that should be it. If you don't change this to unique name, sometimes it errors and think it's a bug. So go back here and then I'm going to build. Gonna make a build. And then I'm going to say test app. Oh, folder. Builds. I'm gonna do this one more time. I'm gonna just start from yesterday's file, Monday's, no. And then I'm gonna just do one slider, just to show you again. Okay, so once I have this, you wanna share this entire folder with your friend if you want them to start, be able to use your file. There is an external plugin to package this as an installer, but for now, this doesn't need any installation, but you need the entire folder in order to run this software. Okay, so double click the day 2 tutorial, and we don't have quit button, so we have to force quit once we are done. But this is good. This is full HD now, and then these buttons work. So it's all connected. It's all good. Then I cannot force quit. I have to force quit. So Control Alt Delete Task Manager. Then just force quit here. So I want everybody to make a slider and connect the slider with some parameter and use this method to export as an app, then record your screen of your play. Okay. But yeah, I think it's more important to get familiarized with the workflow and not be too scared of in some changes of the code. And once you understand, like in general, how the structure is structured, then you know how to modify. That's good.